Hi everybody, this is Robin, live from the Robin's Nest. This time wearing a pin, not a shirt, and you know what that means. It's time for another Michael's Moments. Now this Michael's Moment is going to be a little bit different. I want to call this one on perfectionism. And I don't mean the whole idea of him being perfect when it came to his work. We all knew that he was a perfectionist. We all knew that he wasn't going to release anything unless it was 100% perfect, which is why we had that controversy a couple months ago, back before Christmas, with the whole album called Michael, with, the whole issue of some of the tracks, were they his voice, were they not his voice, blah, 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 blah. The end result is we always knew that Michael's work wasn't it had to be perfect before he would release it. So that is a no-brainer. We all know that. This particular Michael's Moments on perfectionism is not about that, but on how people think and feel about him. And the reason why I bring that up is because I've been talking with a lot of fans lately, a lot of fans, and the fans are all, not all of them, but some of them, are coming from this point of view of him being this absolute little confectionery dollop of perfection, that he was so sweet and innocent that sugar wouldn't melt in his mouth. And I mean, let's face it, he was a really good guy. He had some otherworldly qualities about him. I know I discussed this once before in one of the videos I made called "Was Michael Jackson Your Jesus?" That was a response video. But I really don't think we should see him as being this perfect person who was always perfect all the time, because he wasn't. He was human, and he was capable of making mistakes. He was capable of messing up or screwing up or erring or having faults or weaknesses. He could be vulnerable, and he could be somebody who could make mistakes, and we should never forget that. We should never forget that he was a human being first and foremost, and stop trying to make him out to be something that he really wasn't, which was 100% perfect. And we need to stop treating each other like, if we disagree with one another, then all of a sudden, oh, we're not friends anymore, and you're disrespecting my opinion because you don't agree with me. There are fans out there who are becoming like this. It's like, if you have any little criticism about Michael, then all of a sudden, oh, you're not a fan, and you're not a friend, and I don't want nothing to do with you. That's a silly, immature way to behave. It really is. But unfortunately, you'll have that. I mean, it is a human failing after all, and we all are human, just as Michael was human. And in saying that he was human, I want each of you all out there, when you watch this video, to really stop and think about that. I want you guys to ask yourself, if you could turn back the clock 3 years, if you could go back to, say, maybe August 2008, right around the time Michael was about to celebrate his 50th birthday, if you had a chance to meet him and talk to him and get to know him, how would you have treated him as time went on? Would you have still been a fanatic? Would you have been up in his face like, "Hi, Michael"? Or would you have been a yes man, always up in his face going, "Yes, Michael, sure, Michael, whatever you want, Michael, whatever you say, Michael, I'm going to get it right away for you, Michael"? Or would you have been somebody who could have been like, "Hey, yo, Mike, what's up? How they hanging?" Could you have been real and down to earth with him? Because that's what he wanted more than anything. This isn't to say that he didn't love his fans. He adored his fans. He loved his fans more than anything. But there is a great line between fan and friend. Ask yourself, would you have been able to cross that line successfully? how would you have treated him? Would you have continued to give him anything and everything that he ever wanted just because of the fact that he could sing and dance his ass off and because he had money, just because he was Michael? Or could you have been able to talk with him and get to know him? And if you saw that he was about to make a mistake, would you have the guts to speak up to him about it? Would you have the balls, for lack of a better word, to go to him and say, yo, I really don't think you should do this. This is wrong. And if there was going to be consequences from that, would you accept those consequences? I mean, whether we like it or not, Michael had power. And we all know that if, no matter how sweet and how kind he was, if somebody was to really seriously disagree with him, if they really said something that he really did not like and did not want to hear, he was gone. I mean, that's just how it was. But ask yourself, if you were his friend and if you saw that he was about to make a mistake, how would you have handled it? You know, this isn't just a question about, if you saw him, getting ready to have some propofol, sorry, I got an itch. If you saw him about to take some propofol, would you stop him? It isn't about that. It's just about knowing the fact that he was a human being capable of making mistakes, knowing that he could have faults and feelings. If you saw him about to make a mistake, as his friend, would you have the guts to really speak up? How would you have treated him? How would you have been his friend? I said it before, and I'll say it again. There is a great line between fan and friend. Which would you have been? Could you cross that line successfully? And be honest with yourself. I think you'll be very surprised with what you may find out. Well, that's it for this edition of Michael's Moments. I kept it under wire this time. I will be back in another couple weeks, and I'll see you. Bye.